Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Black Screen. No, welcome to today's live stream. Hopefully audio is good. I see it going into the red a lot. I had to get rid of all of the settings for my microphone to do some auditions because I needed to pick up the my audio because I'm standing all the way at the back of the room so the camera can see me. So right now it's a little worse for wear. Forgive it when it goes black. It's just the way that it is. Let's bump this down to 15. No, not 10. 15 decibel increase should be good enough. It's gonna be black again. That's fine. Fine. It'll come back. Don't worry. It's fine. There you are. Today stream road. That's if we bring this up, I want to have a road from where that is all the way. Actually, probably get it all in one. There we go. Road go here to here. We span this. And then we'll build a town here. Not in the stream, but for the episode. But we need to build a road that goes all the way through all of this, all the way over. So, yeah. And we already have where, like, bridges and stuff are going. We'll probably have road go. I don't know what we're going to do when we get here. You could probably just go through the savannah. Go through. And then I kind of think it would be smarter just to go through here than to build a bridge right over here like I thought. I don't know. Those are the things we're going to figure out. We'll worry about it when we get there. It's really far down the road. But before any of that can happen, we need to pray. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pray. Let today be a good stream. Just pray that everything goes well and smoothly, and that'll be able to glorify. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm not gonna lie, kind of forgot what I normally do. It's been a minute. Alright. Video just black screen for me. Oh no! Is it like in the Paradox where you can hear the audio, but it says that I'm not live, but yet the timer is going? Is that what's going on for you, Wild? Thank you for coming in, by the way. If that persists, if you can't reload it to get it to work, I recommend just popping over to YouTube because Twitch has been very glitchy as of recently, and it just hasn't worked. I'm just getting some villagers trading so that I can get some XP to repair my shovel before I start building a giant pathway. I got 8 shulker boxes of coarse dirt. A lot to go through. I just need a couple items before I start this endeavor. One of which is spruce. Got to get spruce up and running. So yeah. Yeah. I don't know why Twitch should be glitching, but Twitch be glitching. That's why in the title I got it saying, if it be glitching, head over to YouTube. YouTube should be working perfectly. So yeah. It is what it is. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's going on. But something is. I know if you reload it enough times, every once in a while, one of those times will go through. Cannot guarantee. Unfortunately. Yeah, let's make these that. Boom, boom. Beautiful. Alright. Some of the other things we are going to need are spruce. Yeah, we're not going to texturize this path at all. Maybe like when we actually get into like the towns, we'll change the path up to something to be specified for the town. But otherwise, we're not. All of this is coarse dirt. I don't have a lot of stuff. I think I'm going to turn all of this into slabs. Boom, boom, boom. 6 stacks of slabs. May or may not be enough. Let me grab... I may actually have some more in here now that I think about it. I do. Perfect. I think... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to grab 9 stacks. I'm just going to throw these in here. That way I don't just have a random, like, extra empty shulker box here. We'll leave that in our inventory for now. I think I'm going to actually chop down to get 2 more stacks of spruce if I don't already have spruce in here. I do not. So we're going to get a little bit more spruce. But we don't have to worry about all that good jazzercise. So let's just actually let's walk up here. Let's take a little bit of a gander while I'm walking up here. Let me pull up Twitch on my phone to see if it is in a paradoxical state. That could be fixed. Hold up. I think I've been meaning to fix this. Bonk. Alright, perfect. Beautiful, beautiful. We like that. That is better. There we go. All the way up to the top here. Through here. Oh, it looks so nice. It looks so nice now. And we can just walk over here. We do not want to be watching Linksy right now. We want to go find where I am. Looks like I might be working. We'll see. I got an ad. That's good. I guess. Mod view is here. Let's go. You can earn drops. Let's go. Glad to see at least some pieces and parts of the puzzle are working. We kind of have to wait for it to go through. May not be working just because it'd be twitching. Twitch be twitchy. So apologies for that if it's just not working. Don't know how to fix it. So I don't really know what's wrong with it. Okay, phew. I started breaking this up way too fast. Mainly because I made a mistake, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Drop all this down. Get rid of it all. I really should get a beacon over here with haste too. Try to get that nicely done and dusted. I think one more tree ought to do the trick. That's a really tall tree. It's going to give us more than we need, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, it stopped at the ad. It just stopped. Yeah, it is black. I don't know, fam. Twitch be twitchy. You might just have to go to the YouTube side of things, watch from there. Because Twitch is not working currently, because it just isn't. I don't know what to do about it, because I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. It's been doing this for the past couple of streams. I dual stream, just as an FYI, if you're confused why I'm telling you to go to YouTube. I'm dual streaming, so I'm theoretically live on both Twitch and YouTube. But lately, OBS just has not been pushing the Twitch side. And so it just has not been live streaming to Twitch whatsoever. Well, it technically has. It's just nothing is going through. Only audio is going through. But all video isn't. But on, like, if you... I think on the phone I just can't see it, but at least on the computer, it shows as if I am live and not live at the same time, which doesn't make sense. And I don't know what to do. Okay. So you have a little bit extra... You see what I did there? We have a little bit extra... bop, whatever you call it stuff. My mind blank. Spruce. For... Step. Fish. We'll throw it all in here. If anything we don't end up using can just go to a great cause, aka somewhere else. I need a book and quill because we're going to do something. I don't think I have a book and quill, but if I do, it's going to be in the barrel. Okay. Book. Quill. Alright, why do we need a book and quill? We're going to create... We're going to write things down in this book. Random things. We are going to role play? I don't know what to call it. Basically, I'll start building this pathway while I talk about this. I just realized that I'm also going to need to think about all of the excess resources I'm going to get from doing this. In fact, actually, you know what I should do? Let me be smart. Let me be smart here, okay? If I grab the ground gobbler, right? We're going to grab the ground gobbler. We're going to use that, okay? And if you're wondering what the heck the ground gobbler even is, it's basically just a Fortune 3 shovel. The reason we're going to be using this is so that way we can get dirt. If we get dirt, we can then use that dirt we collect from making the path as the dirt, so we don't have to grab more dirt. We'll just need to grab gravel, and it'll be easy. Blah 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 blah. Okay, maybe not in this case, because I'm not gonna go down there. I'm not gonna collect. I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going. Okay, I feel like the game sounds really quiet right now. We're gonna bump up our volume to 40 here. I also have my fan turned on right now, because I have the door closed a little bit because my parents are in a meeting right now, and their office is really close to my office, aka my room. My office, that's funny. So yeah, anyways, role-playing, kind of. What I was thinking about, what I originally wanted to do, here, let me go through it. What I originally wanted to do was do like a thought battle, because, yes, where I pit, where I pit random, here, let me, oh, I don't even have any of that out. I need that out. Where I pit, oh my gosh, I'm so scattered right now. I'm trying to think, and I can't. Where I wanted to take, food mascots and said if they all were to do like a tournament style battle, who would win? That was the thought, is just going down that line of thinking and said who would win. But then I realized how much like research and just finding all of them and the work I'd have to put in to figure that out and get all that information to discuss it here was going to be more difficult and time consuming and research heavy that I don't like to research. So I decided not to pursue that idea. Basically. So, instead what I thought of is, what if I did something that didn't require any research because everything is already made up? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I have today. Is basically I'm just going to create random names of people, I guess. Technically, if they're people. Oops, that's not it. And we're just going to basically create a stat block for them and say, alright, now they fight each other. And we see what happens. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. This is just kind of a rough idea. Because then you have stuff like this, where it's just like... Yeah, I'm probably... not... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The hard part is figuring out exactly where the paths are gonna go. I'm actually gonna move dirt in here, because I may need to terraform while I do this. To just figure things out. Okay, now I should just be able to break the ground in accordance to where I want this to go. We can do this, we can do this. Alright. Oh, that's also why we have to do dirt. I don't know. I have the book just in case, I guess. I don't know how committed I am to this, because I'm still trying to figure out exactly how it's going to work. But that's fine. This path might be too thick to begin with. I don't know. How good is that? Path really thickens as it goes out. Jeez. I think that's fine. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go. We're just placing blocks and seeing where it takes us. Depending on how much we get done tonight, will determine how much we actually, if we'll live stream tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. Because I had thoughts of live streaming tomorrow afternoon, because I'm not doing anything. I'm not do that either. So, may live stream tomorrow afternoon. May still live stream tomorrow afternoon and just do something different, I guess. It doesn't always need to line up. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's actually a perfect line right there. Nice! But that doesn't really feel natural. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Doesn't need to be. It just needs to get us from point A to point B and look somewhat pretty. so I can take a horse on this. So why do we need this path here? I mean, we really don't need a path. Not particularly necessary. Oh, okay. So the real like thing that the path does for us is we're not there yet, but we're slowly growing out of our starter base. And so it's slowly becoming time to move on to a new location and therefore a new base, right? So that's really what this path symbolizes here is we're going to be moving on soon. We're going to, because I think not, once again, like, not soon at all. We've got quite a lot of time before we actually are going to move to a new location. That's way in the future. But it is still something that looms over, and it's like, it's gonna happen. Like, remember, guys, this area, that all of everything we're doing here, that is all a starter base. Yep. That's my starter base, guys. So, we're gonna need an actual, like, mega base home to live in. Because we're living out of a starter base right now. And even still, we have, like, storage isn't becoming a problem. Normally people move out of their current living options because it's, you know, the storage is too small. Like, that's typically why I end up moving out into a different set, like a different area to live, because I'm like, it's getting too small here. So I need to move to a new location and set up a new, like, storage system to house all of the new items that I'm getting and all of that nice stuff. That's like, that's really why I move. In this case, we haven't even hit that point where we need to move on per se, or we even need resources. And a lot of times I build farms based on demand. So, like, I need a certain item, so I'm going to build a farm for that item because I'm currently in need of it. Yeah, this is a weird spot where it just kind of turns, but then turns back almost immediately. But I think if I just do that, oops. I mean, yeah, it is going down. Look at that, what a shot. Oh, that was terrible. Alright, well. Oh, there's gravel in there. Y'all, this was our first sugarcane farm, which is kind of crazy. Okay, here's where things get complicated, because I plan to build the paths first, then I want to build the bridges that take care of all the paths. But the issue is, this is a mess. This is like roughly this is just a path I made to help me get from this side to that side and ride a horse on it. Now I'm like, do I bring this down all the way, or... Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna get rid of what we've got here. You need to die, buddy. There you go. Ooh. We're gonna remove this, because we don't We don't really necessarily, we don't need this. We don't need a marker for where we want things to be now. Maybe for like the bigger bridges for this, I'm gonna do like a wharf, right? We're gonna wharf it. Because of that decision, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Because basically the wharf is gonna follow the same pattern as some of the other stuff. Also, I need to put these lights back. Not down here, but up there I broke some lights. I need to put them back. It's because I have my base neatly spawn-proof right now. Completely. Right, so like, need one right there. And then we can just put one right there. And that was all the lights I had. We won't worry about the lights along the path for the rest of it. This can go to be that. And honestly, be there too. That's good right there. Except right there, that can do that. Okay. Well, it looks a lot nicer. And then I think this is just gonna go straight. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. I think that will be very good. Very good indeed. Okay. Alright. Ideas are popping into my head for this book and quill, so I'm glad I have it on my inventory. Once we fill this in, we're going to start the original plan. Alright. So, here's what I'm thinking. We're going to... Look at that. Time pauses when I'm in a book. That's pretty cool. Pretty nifty, ain't it? Alright, so we're going to create a Warrior v Warrior booklet. Here. We're just going to do that. We'll figure out a title for it later. So, we're going to do Vasaroth is male. Let's see, his main weapon, we're gonna make it a mace. Or, no. A Morning Star. That's like the chains with the ball that spikes. Morning Star. That's his main weapon. So his general stats are his... What? How does... I keep hitting wrong. So that's how you spell strength. I think I'll just spell it out. So his strength... I feel like he's pretty powerful, especially if he's wielding a Morning Star. He's going to be 89 strength. This is out of 100, right? His agility... I feel like he's a tank. So, his agility is going to be a 34. It's below the halfway marker, but not like that slow compared to other people. And his intellect, how smart is he? He's about average in terms of intelligence. He's not super smart, but he's not dumb. 50 is like the average. Your average Joe would be a 50 strength, 50 agility, 50 intellect. What other item can I use to blockade? I think just this, honestly. Right. Here's his stats. Honestly, I feel like we don't need to stay stats. We just have it. I feel like we can save space. Oh, I like that better where it had that. Like that. Okay. So the main weapon is Morningstar. He likes to charge opponents. He likes to charge opponents. Strike hard, but is vulnerable. That's the end of the... Hold on. Hold on. We're disconnecting. We're disconnecting. Hold. Hold. Are we still live? Alright, we're still live on YouTube. That's good. That's the one that matters. Twitch is the one that's... We're losing it. Losing Twitch right now. Okay, so Twitch is still running. Let's stop it and start again. Alright, we stopped it and started it again. Alright, it's still glitched out. It's still glitched out. Cool. That's fine. YouTube's the only one that matters because that's the one that's working. Anyways, where was I? Okay, right, so their main attack, which, once it loads up, well, let me wait. Okay, there we go. So then their bottom is the main attack. What is the thing? So he likes to charge. So he charges forward, basically swings the attack into the ground or at his opponent, but if it misses, it hits the ground, and then he's vulnerable at the end because it takes him a hot minute to get situated for his next attack. So that's Vasaroth there. Let's do Chimoleon. There. Chimoleon. There you go. He's also male. Right? Okay, yeah. His main weapon, I think, will be a dagger. His main weapon is a dagger. His strength is a 24. His agility is his average stat. And his intellect, that's his high stat. He's a 76 intellect. He's very smart. His agility is subpar, but he's very smart. Oh, you're right. I did space these out. His agility is very smart. Waits for opponent to attack. Dodges for the counter. So these are like the main moves that they do. All right. So there we go. There's our two. Right. So we got Vasaroth and Chimoleon. It's such a stupid name. Bear with the names, guys. If you guys have ideas for characters or anything like that, throw them in chat. We'll add them to the booklet. But to start, I think what we're gonna do, booklet. So let's make a title page here. Let's make it look nice. This will be called Warriors of the Mind. Center that. Warriors of the Mind in fight. No. Fighting. I don't like that. I think that looks stupid. Oh, geez. Okay. There you go. So who's currently fighting? We have Vasarath. Fine, we're gonna just discuss who is going to win in this fight. We're losing Twitch again, guys. We're losing Twitch again. Here. So Worf, I wasn't thinking of starting here. I was thinking of actually having the dirt just kind of continue here. And then the wharf goes where it's deeper. And then it goes back into dirt. So I think that's what we're going to do. But first, I think I want to fix up some of the holes that are here. Make it a little bit easier to do some stuff. Alright, so let's see. Vasarath versus Chimolian. So basically, now, Chimolian, I'm not going to lie, I kind of screwed over a little bit. Because I didn't give him, he's not very fast. So he's not going to easily be able to dodge. But he is faster than Vasarath. The question is Chimolian faster than Vasarath's Morning Star attack, his signature move? Can Chimolian dodge Vasarath's attack? That is the question. That's the question we want to know. Can Chimolian dodge Vasarath's attack? Because I think that'll truly determine the winner of the fight. Is whether or not Chimolian can dodge that attack. Because so Vasarath, I mean, he's not a one-trick pony. Like, neither of them are one-trick ponies. I'm just saying that's their most signature move. That's the thing they're going to be using. Since Vasarath is a strength-based player, he's very strong, which means a dagger will probably take a while, so Chimolian's going to have to play the long game. Now, he's very smart. Not very smart. He's decent. He's smarter than most, but he's not, like, high intelligence here. He's above average, but not by, like, a crazy amount that's, like, gonna win him the battle because he can outsmart his opponent. It's like he's smart enough to wait and be patient. Like, that's kind of more of his intelligence, is he's smart enough to wait and be patient for the opening to show itself so he can actually make a move and do something. So Chimolian is going to probably do that. So, alright, let's see. Vasarath goes in for the attack. He's going to run and immediately do his charging Morning Star attack. Chimolian, obviously... Ooh. Chimolian is going to see that he's going for this attack and very easily move out of the way, I think. Actually, no. The first time he sees the attack, he can clearly see kind of what's going on. He's going to go for the dodge, but slightly going to miss. So he's going to get nicked a little bit. He's going to get nicked in the leg a little bit by the Morning Star. So right off the bat, I think, maybe not, no, not the leg, the arm. He gets hit in his non-dominant arm, so in his non-dagger arm, but he gets hit a little bit. He now understands the main attack and notices, and kind of, he steps back. He, like, runs back. Chimolian is on the other side of the arena now, as Vasarath is getting his Morning Star out of the ground because he slammed it in. Because Vasarath was the one who actually more or less missed, more than it was Chimolian's easy dodge. Vasarath just kind of missed. I think is a little bit more interesting here. Vasarath missed his attack. Just ever so slightly missed the attack. He kind of whiffed it a little bit. So he's a little mad about the fact that he whiffed his attack. He was hoping... Honestly, he was hoping for an immediate win right there. He was hoping he would immediately beat Chimolian, and because Chimolian, obviously, Chimolian isn't favored to win. Vasarath is more favored to win in comparison. Like, the crowd has voted on Vasarath to win this fight. Everyone thinks it's going to be Vasarath. And I mean, like, they have every reason to. He's stronger, he's larger, He's not faster. That is one thing. He's not faster. We haven't even gotten into the guys that are, like, ridiculously strong here. There will be some one-hit knockouts in this tournament. Don't get me wrong, but not the first one. We gotta figure out this. We gotta figure out what's going on. Okay. So Chimoleon dodges. Some people gasp, they're surprised. Other people cheer, especially those who betted on the underdog to win this fight, are quite happy that he managed to not get hit in one singular hit. Vasaroth has taken out several opponents in past tournaments this way, especially lesser opponents. He winds up for his next attack. And gets ready to charge Chimoleon. Chimoleon now is completely aware of exactly what happens. His intelligence gives him, not the ability, but, like, he's smart enough to know what, and can clearly see that he's going to do the same thing again. So this time he poises himself this ready to dodge, and he goes for it. He gets nicked again, a little bit less, so Chimoleon's looking worse for wear right now. So his left arm is currently bleeding from the first attack. It didn't get broken, is currently bleeding from the first attack. It didn't get broken or anything like that. It just got scraped, but pretty badly. The bleeding will stop, so it's not like a fatal, you need to rush to the hospital kind of wound, but it is the kind of, like, it's annoyingly going to bleed for a hot minute on its own. Like, there's not much he can do about that. But it is what it is. Chimoleon kind of shrugs it off. He dodges this next one, and instead of running back like he did the first time, he actually goes for the attack. He strikes Vasaroth. He goes for the head. Vasaroth dodges the head attack, and Chimoleon grazes him with his dagger ever so slightly. So Vasaroth kind of taken aback. He wasn't prepared to be hit in this round. He was expecting basically just to catch Chimoleon off guard almost. But Chimoleon's already caught on, so now Vasaroth has to think a little bit more about his attack. Vasaroth was going with good old reliable to win this fight, but now he's realizing that that's not the case. Remember, intelligent, Vasaroth isn't like a dumb giant strength build kind of thing. Vasaroth is a little bit smart. He's aware that Chimoleon has caught on, basically. So he's ready to change tactics. He does get his cheek and ear grazed. So there is that. Chimoleon was going for the kill, by the way. This was not a... He was going for a surrender attack. He was going to kill. So that gives you a little bit of Chimoleon's character here. He was going for the kill move. Vasaroth also notes that and is like, okay, this guy actually just tried to kill me with a dagger. But he's Vasaroth, so he's not uber worried right now. He's still... He's not... Neither of these guys are necessarily arrogant. Chimoleon's very cautious. Vasaroth is confident, but not arrogant. He knows what he's able to do. He knows exactly how far he can push himself. So he knows his limits. And he knows he's nowhere near his limits. Especially compared to Chimoleon over here, who has gotten hit twice. The second attack, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it. The second attack on Chimoleon didn't seem to phase Chimoleon as much. It nicked his leg a little bit when he dodged. He was a little off on his timing. Mainly is why Chimoleon got hit there. But nothing he can't walk away from and learn from. So Chimoleon is preparing. He goes for the attack. He misses. When Vasaroth dodges, he immediately darts back to the other edge of the arena and is trying to figure out what to do now. So Vasaroth looking worse. now. He's got a gash on his face. Once again, none of these guys have wounds that are going to send them out of this tournament. They're both sitting pretty right now. So they're doing quite well. They're doing quite well. I need somewhere to do HP. I wonder if I could do right. So if they each, okay, perfect. If they each have, I'm just gonna try something. Yeesh. That's unfortunate. I don't have enough space for like female in the names, so we'll just have to make female names smaller so we have enough space. So he was at 100. He, because of that graze, went down to I think 95 health. Meanwhile, Chameleon is probably sitting at 86 health. He went down to probably, actually no, he's probably sitting more at 81 health. He went down to like 89 in the first hit and then down another bit. So Vasaroth is currently leading in terms of hit points right now. He's got a lot more on him than Chameleon does. So he's sitting prettier than Chameleon is, which is good for him. He's quite happy. So okay, so Chameleon retreats. Vasaroth pulls his weapon out of the ground again. This time he prepares for the same attack again. Gets ready for the chase. Chameleon is ready for this one this time, and he thinks he understands the timing of when he's actually going to throw the Morning Star down for the attack. He's ready for this. Let me see. Chameleon is ready this time. He knows exactly when the attack is coming down. So if he does this attack, he can easily counter it. And most likely go for the kill this time and successfully land it because he will be able to dodge in time and be able to get that recoil off of the Morning Star and use that against Vasaroth to end this round. So he's prepared mentally for the counter. Meanwhile, Vasaroth gets prepared for the attack. He gets ready. He lifts the Morning Star, charges in. Chameleon gets extra ready for the strike. But this time, Vasaroth does not. All right. Actually, yeah. This time, Vasaroth does not go for Chameleon, but instead lands in front of him. So he screws with the timing. Chameleon, because he was preemptive and ready to strike back, kind of pounces on the Morning Star falling, though the timing is off. So he goes for the same headshot kill move, but this time he's not close enough and is a few inches away from Vasaroth's face instead of where he needs to be. And Vasaroth takes this opportunity, lets go of his weapon, and full strength punches Chameleon in the gut. It would have been a headshot, but Chameleon notices his spot and manages to dodge, but not fully in time because he's in the air. He can't really do too much in terms of the actual dodge. Get the frick out of my face. So he barely get the frick out of my face. So he barely dodges, but gets punched in the gut. So he goes down from 81 to 65. Actually, no, 60. I realize I don't have a vitality score, so I feel like vitality should be based on strength. The stronger you are, the more vital you are. Whereas the faster you are, the less likely you are to be hit, and the smarter you are, the more likely you are to react to things. So the more you can dodge. Once again, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be successful. So that's coming in that way. think we're going to force the gut. Vasaroth smiles when he does this, because, Tremolian was not anticipating, he seemed to be a one-trick pony, because, Tremolian did research on Vasaroth before the fight, and so he was aware of some of the moves. He wasn't, like, fully aware of it, but he knew Vasaroth used the same move several times to beat his opponents in the past. So he was a little bit aware of the fact that he was basically wrote him off as a one-trick pony. That was not the case. Vasaroth had other tricks up his sleeve. For example, using that knowledge that people would assume he'd do the same thing over and over again to effectively turn the tables. Alright, we can do this. Here's what I'm thinking. We'll keep moving. Actually, moving the wood isn't the greatest idea. We'll just keep this on. So Vasaroth uses... Let me make sure he can do this. Does he have enough intelligence? I think, yeah. He does. I feel like that kind of a move is not like you need high intelligence. High intelligence is like crazy high intelligence. That's something I feel like an average intelligence person could use to their advantage, especially somebody who's Vasaroth is an experienced fighter. He's fought before, so he's not unfamiliar with this whole shabattle. He knows exactly what he's doing when he's in the ring, so he's definitely, I would say to start, he never thought about it, but I feel like Vasaroth's the kind of guy that he would see somebody do it and say, that's a good idea. So I think he's seen people do the fake out before and decided he's going to add that to his toolset, and he's used it before. So this completely throws Chameleon off his guard. He was not expecting it, and a little bit naive of him to think that it would be a one-trick pony. Chameleon on the ground for a while. Hey, Alexa, thank you for the sub, or not the sub, the follow. Welcome in. Sorry if Twitch is still black screened right now. Don't know what's wrong with it, don't know how to fix it, but YouTube is working functionally if you are interested in actually seeing what's going on. Otherwise, it's kind of like a podcast up in here. We have a couple of dudes fighting it out, and we're kind of commentating. Now, just as a warning, none of this is actually happening in front of the screen. This is all imagination. Imagination. Anyways. So. This is where I stopped chopping trees. Okay. So, Chameleon takes... He's on the ground for a hot second. He's out of condition for a little bit, for a few seconds. It's going well. How about yourself? Hopefully you're doing well. Tuning in. We have an epic battle going on. Between these two fighters. So we got Vasaroth here. And Chameleon, who are currently in the ring fighting right now. We'll just go straight here. So, Vasaroth notices that he's on the ground, but something that isn't as smart, instead of just pummeling him with his brute strength, seeing how effective that was, he kind of misses that opportunity and just goes straight and pulls his weapon out of the ground. And goes immediately for a charge attack, but he's a little slow on the uptake because his agility is really low. So he's not able to quite get the jump on Chameleon while he's on the ground. He gets up in time to dodge and is retreated back to the other side, still kind of grasping his stomach in pain, but slowly recovering faster than Vasaroth would have anticipated the recovery to be, but he's back at it again. And so the war games of the mind begin again, as these two fighters now need to figure out how they're going to defeat each other. Chimelian needs to think of a new strategy, seeing as Vasaroth will throw it out. And now he's not aware of how many tricks Vasaroth has up his sleeve. So he's now got to weigh the options and kind of figure out what's he going to do next. And is that all that he can do? Is it just going to be messing up the timing? Because he can kind of work on that. He can go slower, which means he won't be able to go for a kill shot, because that would involve doing it instantaneously based on the timing. That's more of Chimelian's special. Is he waits a little bit for you to be like off your rocker, like off balance basically, and then strikes. And he always goes for the kill, which is legal in this tournament, by the way. It's advised that you don't necessarily always go for the kill shot, but it's not against the rules to go for the kill. Stream's been going well. Actually, I think we're getting close to taking a little bit of a break and getting ourselves something to drink, aka Coca-Cola. The hard part with all these trees is I can't see. Alright, we're going to take a little bit of a pause from the actual path building. We're going to put some stuff away. Because I need to... Alright, let's grab this dirt. We'll leave this separate. We'll put this in there. I think I'm going to just start a new one and just keep these separate. Right, so those there, those there, those there. Honestly, do that there. Thank you for the follow, Anygame. Much appreciated, much appreciated. It seems like Twitch might be working. Not sure if it's still black. Apologies. I know it was glitching earlier, then it disconnected, and I started and stopped the stream, started it up again, so hopefully things will be working, but no guarantees, no promises. If not, YouTube is currently being strummed to? I don't even know what the plural for that would be. This is a big tree. So yeah, feel free to check it out if you guys are interested in actually viewing the actual content here. I'm an artist and work for gamers and streamers. Very nice. I will note, I do kind of already have an artist. I already have art done for me, and I do not have enough money to afford another work of art done, as much as I kind of would like some cool stuff. But I do not have the money to afford it. So appreciate the offer, but not currently able to afford custom anything, unless it's fan art. That's obviously welcome. Would be a first. I need to just deforest like no tomorrow, because I need to see the pathway's going through here. And I got to figure out exactly how we're going to get up here. So you need to get up this hill. That's going to be by far the hardest part. But look at this. Look at this. We got a pathway that goes all the way here. I think I'm going to go through here and up this way. Like there. And I'll probably pull the pathway up as we go and not necessarily tie it to the ground, so that we can get a nice slope to the pathway. Because obviously this terrain is not ideal for paths. So there will be some areas where that we will not be terraforming it, at least for this. We'll probably terraform that off camera, not for the episode. So we're just going to get like the path itself built, but we'll worry about terraforming and all of that in other areas. Anyways, y'all probably want more of this fight. You want to know what happened now. So Vasaroth goes for the attack, misses, Chimelian. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. It's a really dumb name, by the way. Sorry. Also, once again, if you guys want to add your own character to this is like, I literally just started doing this right now. So if you guys want to add your own character, feel free to just throw them in the chat. Names do need to be appropriate and aligning with the channel rules. That should be a given. But yeah, that is an option for you guys if you want to join in. I will put their name down on the other page, and we'll figure they'll be the next up. Otherwise, I will have to make something else up, which is the whole point of this. Right. Chameleon is now aware that Vasaroth can do more than just the one attack, but he's not aware if that's his only strategy, as in, is it just a bunch of fakes that he has to worry about? I'm not going to worry about the leaves. Is it just fake outs that he's going to have to worry about, or are there other things Vasaroth can attack with? Like, does he have other moves in his toolkit, or what is he worrying about here? What does Chameleon actually have to worry about in terms of this fight? But he composes. Discord is in. There is a command, ! Discord. I did not check CloudBot, so I do not know if that's working. Hopefully that's working. Let me chuck it in there because I don't have the commands. Let me see. There you are. So that should be the Discord right there. Hopefully that's working and connected. Let me know if it does not work, because then I can fix that and get you an actual link that will work. It's really hard to tell what tree, like, yeah. But yeah. So Vasaroth gets his weapon ready. He's prepared for another attack. Chimerion, I keep wanting to call him. Chameleon, now a little bit on his toes. Kind of ready for almost anything. He thinks he's prepared. Vasaroth charges once again. Chameleon is the kind of guy who likes to sit back, waits for the other guy to attack before he fights back. This is his primary style, while Vasaroth is a charge in all the way. So you'd think the battle would be more one-sided the other way, but the results are proving different. Vasaroth goes for the attack. He goes for his regular attack. Chameleon is slow on the uptake. That it's his normal Vasaroth attack. He's slow to react on it, but fast enough to react that he's able to actually do a little bit of a counter. Is there? Yes, there is. So he's able to hit his arm, and he dodges the mace. Not the mace, the Morning Star. He dodges the Morning Star. And I'm gonna wait for these to decompose a little bit, so that way we can get more of this. This is also great for wood, by the way. This is great. Really great for wood. I'm loving that. Dirt in there. He hits him in the arm and dodges the Morning Star. So this is like the first attack that Vasaroth, Chameleon has actually dodged, not getting hit in any way, and actually strikes. This is a pretty bad gash, actually. He gets it in his arm good, because he goes down for the attack, lands it, and he dodges to the right. So he dodges to his right, which would be Vasaroth's left arm, stabs it in where the top of the wrist is, and drags it down the arm. Basically, his left arm is out of commission. That puts him at, honestly, I'd say 65. Chameleon is still at 60. Yeah, this is a lot closer. Vasaroth's left arm is now out of commission. He can no longer use his left arm in this battle because it's currently ripped open. And this bleeding is a worse gash than all the other wounds we've seen, where it's essentially what we're going to call a mortal wound. Meaning if it doesn't get attention care soon, you could bleed out from this and die. So he currently is mortally wounded from that attack. So how the turntables? This is interesting. We're gonna leave it at this, at the cliffhanger. We're not ending stream. Don't worry, guys. We're not ending stream. I just need to get something to drink because my throat hurts. Discord username, please send me the request. Does that? I'll check that. I'll make sure that everything is working. while I be right back. I will be right back. All right. We're back. We're back. We don't need to be wide. The Discord link is working. I checked it. So you should be able to get to my Discord there. It's not very popular. Like, not a lot's going on there. So if you join it, you're really just joining to get notifications. So don't have your hopes up. Everything you need is there. I'm unfortunately not going to accept your friend request because I don't know you. But get ready for this, because this is all that you need in life, is this. Been slow on the uptake there. Oh, man. Oh. I always get it on the keyboard. Speaking of keyboards, I need a new one. Yeah. Alright, so where were we? Vasaroth just got a huge gash in his arm. Once again, after this attack, Chameleon retreats. He flees. Where is this piece of wood? Right there. He flees. He goes back to his back little corner that he's been, not that the same one, but he goes back to the back side of the arena. Vasaroth winces, gasps, but ultimately does not scream in pain. Once again, he's been wounded like this before. Not maybe this specific wound, but he's been wounded in battle before, so he's not a stranger to mortal injuries. He's had them. He's given them out. He's typically the one dishing them out. But he has been wounded, especially in some of his tougher battles. So he now takes a breath, grabs the Morningstar out of the ground with one arm, with his right arm. He actually somewhat bandages his arm. He realizes the bleeding is really bad. He takes off a part of his clothing and uses that to wrap up his arm as best as he can. But it immediately is the cloth and whatever it is he used is immediately blood soaked because the wound is that deep, that bad. So this battle will have to end soon, because Vasaroth, if Chameleon plays his cards right, all he has to do is wait. Vasaroth will probably not let himself bleed to death, so Vasaroth will probably have to call it out, which means Vasaroth's only option is to hit Chameleon and get him to quit first. Is to get Chameleon, it is Chameleon. To get Chameleon to give up first by hitting him harder than that. Granted, remember, they're both at the same health points, but I will say Vasaroth is probably going to lose health points much rapidly, and if they don't either get attacked, Vasaroth will just kind of slowly be losing hit points because he is mortally wounded. Any mortal wounds will continue to dissipate hit points, and you will continue to lose hit points. The longer you have the mortal wound. The bandage he put on was very weak. Didn't really do much for him. So he prepares. He props up the Morning Star, kind of on his shoulder, ready to attack. And charges again. Chimilian ready to do the same thing to the other arm, so he's planning on dodging left. Vasaroth can see his body language and is aware where he's going to go and can assume where he's probably wanting to strike, because if he gets both arms, Vasaroth can't really fight. So that's probably what he's going to do, is that, and then, or go for the kill shot. Those are his really two options. But seeing how the fight's played out and the fact that he didn't go for the kill shot during that position suggests otherwise. So he's kind of Vasaroth is mentally aware of what moves Chimilian is probably going to go for, especially seeing the state that Vasaroth is in currently. He's like, I kind of have an idea of what's going to happen now. So with this, he has a plan. He has a plan. He knows exactly what he's going to do. As he approaches Chimilian starts to get prepared, prepares himself to go to dodge left. So Vasaroth, remember the weapon, what it is. It's a Morning Star, which, for those of you who don't really know what a Morning Star is, if you've watched Lord of the Rings, it's what the main, okay, maybe that's a bad one to go to, because I have to be very specific. But then again, I know Lord of the Rings pretty well. So when the Ringwraith leader, I watch Lord of the Rings a lot, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know what that character specific name. I always thought it was the body of Sauron. I just always thought that Sauron was split, and you had the mouth of Sauron, the eye of Sauron, and then the body of Sauron was the guy. It's riding the Nazgul, and he is right about to kill King Theoden, but Eowyn steps in to defend him and fight. Right, and the weapon that guy has is a Morning Star. With that, I'm thinking this Vasaroth's Morning Star is a ball with more of like a ball with spikes on it, but it's on a chain. It always was on a chain, and so with this knowledge, the actual distance that this weapon can reach from point A to point B is 5 to 6 feet for, like, in a plus however long his arm is. His arm reach, let's say he can reach out in front of him 3 feet in front of him. He has pretty long arm, like, maybe not long, I don't know. I don't really know what average is in this case, but he's got arms. He's got arms, guys. He's got arms. So he's able to reach a decent length to get this. So that's what he does. You probably can see it coming. He swings the Morning Star, so he pulls it off of his shoulder to the left side first, and then swings it to the right side. And just as he thought might happen, Chimilian dodges left this time, sorry, to attack Vasaroth's arm. But because he jumped to do the dodge, he's temporarily unable to move because he's in the air. And during that slight time, because Vasaroth is so strong, he's able to push the Morning Star a lot quicker than most other people would to get to him, meaning he hits Chimilian in his side. Now, not straight to the side because he uses his arms as a blanket. Let's see. He dodges. He's going for the right arm, so he dodges left. So he's going to be using his right arm mainly to block this. So his right arm gets completely crushed in this attack. Now, he's right hand dominant, so that's the hand that uses his blade. He drops the blade. He's no longer equipped with a weapon. He drops the blade, so he no longer has his dagger, and he goes down to, like, I'm honestly thinking 25 hit points. He's worse for wear. That, I think, probably is going to win Vasaroth this battle. Because Chameleon can't really do much in this position here because of that wound. And the several spikes that penetrated his arms, luckily none of them were long enough to reach his side, but broken ribs for sure. Lots of broken ribs from that. Almost that entire right side of his rib cage is almost all cracked, fractured, or broken in some way or shape or capacity. So, Chameleon is looking worse for wear. Drops his weapon, drops to the ground. He lets out a low scream, not like but like kind of scream when he gets hit by this. Vasaroth kind of brightens up, like, dang, that actually worked. He wasn't actually anticipating this move to work, guys. He just thought, yeah, I kind of hope this hits. He wasn't anticipating this move to land at all. I think that's really funny. He was just totally expecting it. I'm actually going to put dirt on this side. I might need a lot, because we're actually going to leave this all down here. At the bottom. I think 6 width is a good width. I'm just saying. So Vasaroth almost practically considers himself won. Chameleon's looking worse for wear. He's mortally wounded. I think we're going to go ahead because Vasaroth ran and everything. Vasaroth's more like at a 54 in terms of his HP levels. He's not doing too hot himself. I think we should start going up now and have the path like slowly go up in the meta. So Vasaroth kind of thinks he's won. But he's smart enough not to celebrate too soon. It's a good thing he doesn't, because in the last bit of, not life, but like energy, Chameleon has, he picks up his dagger with his left and chucks it at Vasaroth's head, right for the forehead. Vasaroth, once again dodges, but not fully, so he gets hit in the face. Like, it grazes his face again, so now he's probably down at 50. Meanwhile, that throw alone took Chameleon down to 15. And I think with that, Chameleon passes out due to the pain from basically his entire side being just destroyed from that attack. Just absolutely broken. 6. So in the today's winner is Vasaroth. Vasaroth wins. Oh, where do I put the W? That's gonna be pretty hard to keep track of. I might need another book to keep track of the tourney style. Like, this is this is all the stats, but this is like, it tells me who's fighting. I think I'm gonna do that, and then also that's fine. I think I'm also gonna repair this as well. Okay. By the way, if you're curious as to what the wharf is going to be here, I'm also going to rename this while I'm here. Let's go up first. Isn't the base so beautiful? Honestly, I think the best view of my base is, like, not from here, but from up here. By far, the best view of the base is right here. Just this looks so nice. Just all of this terraformed here. The pathway just sinks. Everything just sinks into this space. You can see all of the hobbit holes here. Very, very nice. The rocks that are there now. Very, very nice. Yeah. This little guy. I really want to put a cherry tree right here. Not like this, but like a custom cherry tree. But y'all already know my tree building skills ain't that great. And that's where we struggle. That's where we struggle bussin'. You can't buy book and quills, you can only sell them. Sag. I hear a zombie, but where is it coming from? Slightly concerning. And then you get down here, and it's just like... Once this is a forest, that'll look pretty nice. But it's not a forest yet. So it is what it is. Also, guys, I'm just going to do this, because I love it when it's raining and I got the shaders on. It's just so nice. So nice. Ah. The glory clouds, all that. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Any hoozles, we need Bonkus Delonkus the third. So this is the warrior stats. This is going to be warrior tourney. The warrior tourney book. So we have Vasarath, Tremolian, right? Vasarath versus Tremolian. So Vasarath versus Tremolian is our first battle. Let me do this better. So this is all going to be round 1. So round 1, we have Vasarath versus Tremolian. Actually, I don't mind it when it's like this. So we'll have winner. Woo. I don't want to do winner-loser because I kind of want you to figure out who is in the next thing, because then people can come back. Tremolian could fight in the next tournament we have, but this is the first tourney. So we're going to have passed out. So winner. I don't like that. Passed out. There you go. So this is the first battle. Is Vasarath versus Tremolian. Vasarath is the winner. He is moving on. Maybe that's what I should do, is instead of that. Because I feel like... it's very possible that people die, get mortally wounded, and can't move on in the next round. They win, but they also die, and all of this. Like, I want that to be a part of this. So, there you go. There's the tourney. So that's Vasarath, who is left at 50 health. So he's very easily moving on. Tremolian is left at 15 health, or HP. HP, I'm just gonna put this out there because I don't. Here's what I think I'm gonna do. HP does not necessarily correlate to actually life. Meaning 0 HP doesn't mean you've died. It just means you've lost. If anyone reaches 0 HP, they've definitely lost. Whereas if they're still above, because technically somebody could be at 100 HP and give up. You know what I mean? No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. But let's say somebody doesn't get, like, maybe somebody's more of a glass cannon. So the minute they get hit, they drop out. They're like, I'm not, like, they don't want to lose their life. And who knows, maybe, like, actually somebody could go out at 100 health because they get surrendered. So that's going to be some of the things. So you, like, so here's Basarath versus Chimerain. We'll leave these here so we can just remove the names. Anyways. And in this book, right, so you have moving on. You could have injured. Which basically means, yeah, if they're injured, they're not moving to the next. Passed out. Or they died, or, sorry, killed. They were killed, or they were surrendered. Actually, there's a better word for that. I'm trying to think of it when you, what's the word for when you make someone give up? I'm trying to think. I don't remember. We're gonna leave this in here. I'm gonna leave that in here. But, we need new warriors. We need another fight to ensue. I think we need a female. Let's have a female battle. We had 2 males. Let's do 2 females. So let's do Jiltara. 1L, please. Yes. Jiltara. How does it look? Female. $100. So, starting off. Weapon. Her main weapon is actually dual wield. We'll just say dual dagger. She dual wields daggers. Her strength is a 23. Her strength is 23. She's going to be the agility main. She's going to have a 76 in agility. But she's also like a 67 in intellect. So she's pretty smart. She's pretty friggin' smart. She really likes fakes. We'll go in, go in, start out, and back in. Avoids first contact. Okay, so here's her fighting style, or at least like her main go-to. So she really likes faking out. So she'll pretend to go in for one move and then do something else with the other hand and kind of thing. That's why she dual wields daggers, because she doesn't combo with the daggers. One of those daggers is not going to hit you while the other one will. That's her fighting style. She wants to fake you out thinking you're going to get hit with the right and she's going to hit you with the left. That's her main fighting style. She'll go in, right, she'll go in, jump out, and back in, so that way she'll go in, force you to attack, jump away, and then go back in. Though she typically tries to avoid first contact, so if you're, like, facing off and just circling each other, she won't be the one to go in first. Though if you go long enough, she will eventually snap and be the one to go in first. So if we have somebody very patient, that might not be good. That's not going to be the case. We're going to go with Yosema. I think I want to make her a strength build. Her weapon is a great sword. So her strength is an 87. Pretty freaking strong. Her agility is like a 12. Ugh, she's slow. She's really slow. But she hits hard, and she can take a hit. Her intellect, actually not great. She's really strong, but not fast at all. Very slow. And her intellect, is slightly below average. So she's more likely to make a mistake or play into somebody's hand that's smarter than them than she is, anything else. So she's not fast. It's for opponent approach, then strikes, tanks a lot. She likes the tank. She is a tank. So she might get stabbed a lot, but she won't really take that much damage from each stabbing. She really is good with pain. So you have Jiltara versus Yosema. All right. There we go. Let's go ahead and let's get our inventory set up. Okay. So, Yosema and Jiltara enter the ring, and they are prepared to fight. Maybe not immediately, but pretty early on, Yosema kind of prepares her stance. She gets into a stance that allows her to be actually not very vulnerable to attacks, and is basically ready to strike at anything that moves. Immediately, Jiltara notices this and realizes she's going to have to be the one to make the first attack. But seeing the stance is basically familiar with what's going to happen. She's aware that it's going to be an attack. She's guessing. Hold on. I need to make sure. Yeah, she's guessing it's probably going to be a side sweep strike. She's smarter than average. This is where, like, being slightly below average, you would make dumb mistakes, like revealing your hand a little too early. Yosema is revealing her hand a little too early. That doesn't mean she's gonna, like, anyone who's low on the intellect will just strike endlessly. Yosema's smart enough not to just strike, and that's why she has, like, a stance. Like, she's well trained, but it's still mistakes like this that'll ultimately cost her. So, Yosema is prepared. Jiltara, basically, once Yosema gets plopped down, she analyzes and then gets in her startup and books it. She's very fast. Yosema kind of does, like, the eye dart to try to keep up. Right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Jiltara. Agility. She's not, like, the fastest, but she's pretty fast. So she kind of runs in immediately. Yosema, being very slow, is kind of trying to track. The minute Jiltara kind of gets in range, the right amount of range. Now, Yosema does know the right amount of range for this attack that she wants to do. Here, let me try this. knows the exact amount of range required for the move that's about to happen. So once that range, basically what she thinks is the no going back zone, Yosema takes the swing. Yosema takes the swing at Jiltara. Jiltara stops in her tracks. Oops. Jiltara stops in her tracks, but way before Yosema thought. Like, she's able to just stop and pivot. So she stops and she pivots, and jumps backwards. So Yosema strikes faster than Jiltara was actually expecting. Now, here's something to be clear. Agility does not have any effect on how fast you can move your weapon. So that's determined by strength, because you need to be pretty strong to move a greatsword pretty fast. Yosema, pretty strong. Pretty freaking strong. So she can move that sword pretty freaking fast. So it flies out of basically nowhere. Jiltara taking a little bit of back, but not out of the attack. It's a fake. So it's the going out. She finishes the swing all the way to the one side. Let's say she swings left to right. Jiltara jumps back. Basically, flurry rushes Yosema. So she swings, she jumps back. And then immediately runs back in while she's getting the sword ready. And stabs her in the shoulder. But because she's a tank, she just takes it and goes for the swing. And Jiltara manages to dodge, but still gets cut on the side. No mortal wounds quite yet. Not a mortal wound, but still got hit on the side. So pretty gnarly stuff. And the shoulder wound went, dagger deep. So that doesn't great. So Jiltara is at 87 now with the side strike. It's still hit, still not mortal, so it'll close soon. Yosema though is actually also, I would say, sitting at an 86 with that strike. Once again, she likes to tank, so it'll take a lot more of those kinds of hits to actually do damage. Yosema doesn't wince at all. As I said, she gets hit and immediately moves her blade to go in for a second strike, which Jiltara was not anticipating. Jiltara is used to people wincing and can typically do more than just the one attack. She dual wields blades for a reason, and that's to do multiple strikes, to fake out and do multiple strikes. Once again, remember guys, the main attacking style is not their only attacking style. They can attack in any way they see fit, though they do have their preferences of how they like to fight. Jiltara is smart enough to have several different fighting styles, as in, she's not a one-trick pony. She's not only going to do one style of fighting, she's going to switch it up quite a lot, so the Yosema can't keep up. And agility strictly has just, is really focused on your actual movement speed, how fast you can get from point A to point B. So it has nothing to do with striking ability, just as an FYI. For those of you wondering. Okay. We're gonna hit that, but I might just shave it back. Also, I just noticed that this is a very flat path. Like, this is nice, but I need to start moving the path over a little bit. Alright. Where were we? Jotaro dodges. Uh, Three, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah! We're good. Okay. That doesn't need to be there. Alright, okay. So, Jiltara is trying to assess what happened. She's not used to being hit. So she's like, okay, how did that happen? Because she was kind of under the impression that Yosema was really slow, and that sword kind of came out of nowhere. So she's kind of mad. Just a little bit. Trying to piece together the puzzle of like, okay, that happened, what? She's trying to understand. Yosema, therefore, resumes position. Yosema basically barely moved an inch during that entire interaction. She resumes a position. It is different from the first one. It is different. Jiltara notices that it's slightly different, and is able to understand that it's going to be a bottom to top diagonally slash. Yosema's not really used to people being able to read her attacks, so she's also trying to wonder how Jiltara managed to dodge so easily as if she knew what was going to happen. Yosema's trying to piece together how that happened, because most people don't know what she's going to do, and therefore fall victim to her stance. They don't know what the position means at all. So they typically are thrown off guard. Jiltara is smart enough to see past that and kind of see, based on your body language, what you're preparing and planning on doing. So she prepares another attack, because that's all she really knows how to do. So Yosema's in a disadvantage of not really knowing what to do, which means she only has so many attacks that she can really whip out. That Jiltara would know about. So she's kind of gotta figure out how is she going to get past the fact that Jiltara knows what she's about to do next. Which is never a comforting thing when you're in a battle with somebody, knowing that they know your next move before you even do it yourself. Yosema's very trained, which is why she's so strong. Because she knows what she's doing very well, but the problem is that she doesn't know how to mix it up. Jiltara, her whole shtick is mixing it up so the opponent doesn't know. So Jiltara now kind of assessing the situation. It's like, alright, I see this, blah, blah, blah. You, boom. Yeah. Okay. I see. And is able to easily kind of figure out what's gonna go down next. Ooh, and you connect this up. So, Jotaro once again goes in for the attack. And on schedule, Yosema does the strike once again, like perfectly placed to where, where Jotaro should be, except that Jotaro this time dodges backwards to the left, goes in for the attack again. Now the blade goes from diagonally up, swings back, and now is going diagonally down. Jotaro pretends to go in, but stops, so does the motion of going in, kind of backs up a little bit, dodges the blade, barely, like right in front of the face, runs in, stabs the opposite shoulder. When she stabs that shoulder, blade is now down, like, right near her feet. She kind of walks past it. Yosema takes her arm off and kind of very forcefully shoves her out and away, which does lodge the dagger. Okay. The dagger that Jotaro was sporting is now stuck in Yosema's arm. Jotaro goes down to 85. She's kind of taken aback by the shove. She's down to like 79 now. Even though she got hit in the shoulder twice, or a different shoulder, but still, even though she's taken a shoulder hit twice, she's still basically shrugging it off like it ain't nothing. Because she's very well disciplined, and therefore this pain doesn't really hurt. So Jotaro taken aback once again, especially by the speed at which especially by the speed at which Yosema is being able to strike back. She's kind of completely taken aback and is like, okay, you are fighting in a way she's trying to understand what's going on. Like, it truly is brute force. If brute force was a fighter, it would be Yosema. She is essentially brute forcing her way through this battle. No other way to describe it. She is brute forcing her way through this fight. Not in like a bad way, like brute forcing it, but just like that's her fighting style. She takes it and deals with it, and figures out what to do. Alright, now we just gotta go up and over the mountain. Look at this, though. Look at that. Pathway goes and then you go and then we gotta go down here. And then we gotta go through this. We gotta go probably right down to here. Follow along this path. Go to there, where we will eventually put a bridge. That'll be later. I need to grab my stuff and bring it all up here. Once again, Shiltara has not actually taken that much damage. She had the one slight sword gash when she was still learning what the other opponent is capable of. There was that. So she had to figure out exactly what happened there. Like, okay, well, what was going on exactly? Oh, that was weird. It sounded like that was just the music. The music made it sound like there was a creeper right behind me. That was scary. Yeah. So, Shiltara, understanding her fighting style more, now understands, okay, she's gonna brute force it. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about it. These should be on the same side, as should these. Sheesh. And that, my friends, is why you bring extra wood so you can make yourself some more slabs, because I'm almost out. We're no longer in that phase. We are in the... I need that. Okay. So, Jiltara kind of takes a second to figure out what her next move is. Yosema assumes position for another strike. Assumes position for another strike. Jiltara reads it. It is actually the same strike as last time. She's getting prepared to do the same strike as last time. This is Yosema's way of mixing it up by just doing the same strike twice in a row, because most people honestly wouldn't anticipate that. Kind of want to go through this grove right here, so I'm thinking we can move over that way a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean like so. Ah! We're good. We're good. All is well. Ah! Ah. Okay. So, Yosema gets her position ready. The diagonal strike is prepared. Jiltara notices, decides to roll with it. She's gonna try to get behind Yosema, thinking she can't turn around very quickly. So she's planning on jumping kind of on, like, over top of Yosema. Basically. So Jiltara runs right at her. The diagonal strike goes. She realizes that the strike is going up. So she actually does like a slide move underneath of Yosema's legs. Meanwhile, while sliding under, slashes both legs. She was aiming for the ankles, but missed a little bit. She actually missed just ever so slightly. She's actually kind of annoyed that she missed a little bit. That hurt a little bit. But Yosema still unmoving. Strike goes up. She like slides under, slices legs, turns around, stands up. Yosema, having gone up, realizes that she's behind, uses the momentum to spin around and slashes down, cutting Jiltara's wrist open pretty big. Not off, but it's gashed pretty big. She drops her blade. That is a huge hit. So Yosema goes down to maybe 68 now with that. Yosema is a little wobbly on the feet, but still staying standing. That takes Jiltara, though, to a 57 with that gash. Jiltara is now mortally wounded. She's now reached that stage. Jiltara screams in pain. Gee, I wonder why. Jiltara screams in pain. As she kind of grasps her arm. In pain. Because, you know, it's kind of been a gash in it. Meanwhile, Yosema, during this time, instead of walking up to Jiltara while she's kind of in this state of pain, she assumes her sideways slash position. She only knows the two. So she assumes the sideways stance position, and is ready to strike again. But Jiltara, in bit of a pickle to attack. So Jiltara just kind of sits there, screaming, in pain, really loudly, really, really noisily, screaming, in agony, trying to understand how her plan failed. She had the whole thing perfectly planned. How could it have gone wrong? In her rage, she, with the other, she dropped both daggers because she's grabbing her arm right now as her hand is like almost about to fall off. It's about halfway cut. The gash is huge. She screams for maybe like 30 seconds, is just crying out in pure agony. And Yosema is just chilling, right, like basically towering over her. Not towering over her. She's far enough back that she's not in striking range. because that would, if she was in striking range, Yosema would strike. But Yosema waits for her opponents to come to her. So she just stands there, waits for her to get up, basically. So she's standing there, waiting for Joltara to get up. Honestly, with the amount of time that Joltara spends screaming, she's probably down to like a 53 now. She spends a lot of time screaming. She is in deep agony. She hurting. She really hurting. And so after about 30 seconds of screaming, in pain, she eventually comes to her senses, and picks up her blade with her right hand, and throws it at Yosema. It strikes her in the chest. She kind of just takes it, like literally barely moves, like goes back a little bit from the force, but just takes it. Takes a dagger, not to the heart, but to the chest. It doesn't pierce deep enough. I mean, it pierces deep enough that it probably hit her lung, so she's mortally wounded as well now. Maybe not lung. I don't know. I need her to stay alive a little bit longer. She doesn't die from it. It hits her in the chest. I don't know. I don't know what wound somebody could take from this. Yeah, so we kind of need to go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Is my math wrong? Question? So she gets hit in the chest from that toss, which that honestly brings her down to 57. She brunts it. Like, once again, she prides herself on being a tank, so she takes every hit, which is typically why she loses. Yosema is considered the underdog here, because she loses a lot of her battles due to poor planning and all that good stuff. I'm gonna kill this donkey. So she takes the chest to the dagger. She takes the dagger to the chest. Joltara is still, like, screaming while she does that. Like, the screaming never stops at this point. She's just writhing in agony as her wrist is split open. Because, I mean, she's a dagger wielder. She wields 2 daggers. If she can't wield both daggers, she can't fake, which is her whole fighting style. So, inadvertently, Yosema kind of disabled her fighting style while maintaining position. The wound isn't fatal, but it is a mortal wound. So she's going to be taking damage regularly. Basically, they both sit there for like a minute or two. Joltara screaming and just kind of like on the ground at this point. Joltara on the ground. She's by the time she gets up and picks up the other dagger to like finish this battle, she's at like a 34. Meanwhile, Yosema's only at a honestly 43. Yosema's still with a dagger in her chest. Honestly, the fact that she leaves the dagger there is probably what's making it so that way it's not as bad on her. Because if you leave it in, your chances are actually a lot better, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she leaves the dagger in place because she's like, I ain't touching that. So Jotaro, with whatever she has left, runs for the final strike. Yosema's been ready and waiting for the final strike to actually finally happen. Jotaro runs up. Yosema goes for the side swipe again. To which how do I want to play this? Jotaro jumps above the strike to go for the headshot. But Yosema carries the blade up, so flat, but carries the blade up and basically flings Yosema behind her. Flings Jotaro behind her. Jotaro lands, going down to a 25. But before Jotaro lands, she chucks her last dagger into Yosema's back, bringing her down to like a 29. So she has both of Jotaro's daggers in her back, and Yosema just turns around and assumes diagonal strike position. She just assumes position. Unwavering position. Just Old Faithful gonna get her through this. Old Faithful. She assumes position. Jotaro lands. Takes that damage that we've already calculated. She just kind of lies there. She still awake. But just kind of lies there. Barely clinging on to consciousness, like about to go unconscious. Jotaro is nowhere near unconscious. She's just standing there. And then after maybe another 30 seconds of nothing happening, Jotaro ends up going to a 14 and going unconscious, while Yosema just goes down to 20. And with that, Yosema wins the fight. I had a few plans on how that fight was going to actually go, on who I thought was actually going to win that. But it turns out Yosema actually wins that by just doing her thing. I think Jotaro was a little too arrogant going into it. I think she thought she was going to win because she was faster, and she was wrong. And because of that, that cost her. That definitely cost her. So, moral of the story is, you're not always gonna win, son. So we can grab this out. So we have Jotaro v. Yosema. Jotaro is unconscious. He's unconscious. Ooh, didn't need that to be like that. And Yosema is moving on, baby. Yosema is moving to the second round. Ooh, isn't that fun? Which means Yosema is going to be fighting Vasaroth in the second round. That's going to be the first match of the second round. It's going to be pretty fun. I think we should have 32 battles. So there's going to be 32 contestants in this first. In round one, there's 32 contestants. So we have 5, 6. Right. We'll need those other ones. I'll need to think. We need more people. We need more warriors. We need more warriors. We need more fighters. Guys, I need y'all to give me some fighters here. I think we're going to do 2 dudes again for this next battle. Okay. All right. So let's figure out who our next fighters are. So we're gonna have 2 dudes. We're gonna have Kiltar, male. If you haven't noticed, I really like dagger fights. But you're supposed to be these. Weapon, not a dagger. Regular sword. Let's do a short sword. I kind of wanted him to have a dagger, but I didn't want to do another dagger, so we're going to give him a short sword instead. So he's going to have a short sword. His strength is going to be, honestly, 54. He has average strength, agility, 67. No, 68. 68 agility. His intellect is 72. Pretty average stats. He's not that he's a bad fighter. He's just not that guy. Wait. Yeah. He's just not that guy, I guess. So his main thing, honestly, general sword fighter. Aims for wrists, ankles, and necks. He's just a general sword fighter. It's not like he has special moves or anything. Like Yosema, waits for then strikes. For opponents with Russian strikes and tanks a lot. He's just a general sword fighter. He aims for wrists and ankles and necks, so he's either going for the kill or he's cutting off your stuff. He wants to cut you to pieces, basically. His opponent is Hama. Okay, this guy's actually going to be kind of fun. I think this is going to be pretty fun. Okay. Hama. Weapon. Fists. He's a monk build. He's a giant guy. He's a giant guy. He's got 89 strength. Freaking strong. You know what's crazier? I really like 67 for a stat point, apparently, because he's got 67 agility. But he's not that smart of a fighter. No. That's his definite weak point. He's Fist of Fury, dude. Oops, that's the wrong one. He, likes to get you on the ground and pummel you. That's a strat. Okay. We need Kilter. Kilter. Alright, so we got Kilter versus Hama. Alright. This is going to be a pretty exciting battle. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting battle. Okay, I do actually want to keep these flowers. I'm going to make a little bit of room for the flowers. They're so pretty, guys. Don't care about the seeds, though. The seeds can go. Okay. So, both dudes walk into the arena. Crowd goes wild. A lot of people are actually a fan of Kilter's. He's a fan favorite. Honestly, he's just kind of a generic dude that's got a sword. But he's very experienced. He's in a lot of fights. As in, he fights a lot. Duh. He's in a lot of fights. What I mean is he's been in a lot of tournaments. So he's experienced, which is why people like him, because they see him a lot. He doesn't want to die. So keep that in mind. He does not want to die. So he's going to do everything in his power to try and stay alive. Now, this is where I was kind of thinking of us getting down. And then honestly, I'm thinking here to here. I kind of need to get closer. I think I'm going to actually clear some trees out. Make some room for what we want. So let's return this to its original position. Let's put this away. Don't need that. Okay. Hama, kind of there. Big. I'm honestly thinking of like a luchador. That's just kind of its general look. Buffalo Bison is just the name that's coming. I think it's from Brawl Stars, maybe? Can't remember. Basically, just like big wrestler is what Hama kind of just looks like. Just big wrestler. He gets into the ring. And he gets ready to, like, he's basically got his hands out ready to tackle. His main thing is he's gonna try to get Kilter on the ground to tackle him. That's his basic plan. Get him on his bum, and then he's gonna pummel him. Because once Hama gets somebody on the floor, he's basically won. Because he's gonna pummel them. So unless you can somehow figure out how to get out of that pummel, it's game over for you. Because he's really good at that pummeling thing. So he basically, the minute the bell goes off, he charges Kilter. Kilter assumes a defensive position. And he doesn't jump. Hama doesn't jump at him to, like, tackle him or anything like that. He just kind of remains low, ready to, like, almost like football tackle the guy to the ground, get him on the ground, get on top of him, and then start pummeling him. He does manage to dodge and kind of thwacks him with the sword. He doesn't slash him. He kind of almost thwacks him, pushes him to the side, and then you see why everyone really likes Kilter. So he's like 98 now. From that little, like, thwack that he, like, banged on his arms to get him away from him. People like Kilter because he kind of plays with the opponents. He kind of messes with them, has fun, and then he typically doesn't win. But he has fun. He's just there to have a jolly old time. He's just there to have. Wait. So, Hama then kind of turns around, gets ready again for it. Gets ready for the tackle. Once again, Kilter kind of just pushes him aside with his sword. This time, scratching him a little bit, so now he's down to, like, not 90, 94. Down to 94. He scratches him on his wrists, where his favorite spot. Hama gets a little annoyed and kind of sees what's going on, puts the cogs start whirring a little bit, and he's like, alright, well, let's switch tactics a little bit. Instead of me trying to grab him first, let me try to get him on the ground other ways. So he stops the tackle, and he runs up again and punches the ground. Kind of like tries to punch him and misses. Kind of intentionally, but also kind of not intentionally. And smacks the ground, which kind of throws Kilter off balance. And that's when Hama goes for the jump for him. So Kilter is thrown back, and is kind of not fully in the air. He still's got 1 foot, so he's able to dodge, but barely dodges this attack. He gets a little hurt from that first punch, so he's maybe down to a 93. Hama doesn't get hit in that interaction. He just kind of punches the ground, misses the tackle, basically, while also Kilter just kind of dodges the tackle in the first place. So Hama gets ready and basically fists ablazing. He's just trying to ground the ground as much as possible. Kilter is using his sword to try to parry his fists. Hama's fists are getting pretty beaten from Kilter's sword. So Kilter or Hama realizes this, takes a step back. He takes a step back after that, after like a little while of that. No damage is taken there. He's maybe sitting at an 84 now. His fists are really bloodied from all the punching and all the sword attacks that he's like been parrying and everything. And he's like, okay, this is not working. This is not working. So Hama ends up kind of ground stomping towards Kilter. He's shaking the ground a little bit. Not the whole arena, but at least the ground near Kilter starts to shake. So he's a little off balance. The minute like a foot goes in the air as he tries to Kilter tries to regain balance, Hama pounces and jumps right at Kilter. To which Kilter, in the dodge, smacks. Honestly, I think he gets his neck. He gets Hama's neck. Not great, so it's not mortal. It's not like a jugular or anything. Just barely scrapes the neck. And falls on his back. He gets winded a little bit from that. So he's maybe down to an 88 now. Meanwhile, Hama from that attack is down to a 76. So Hama kind of grabs his neck in fear and realizes that he's actually fine. It just grazed him, but still. The mental damage that did was astounding, and now Hama's kind of mad, because he's annoyed at the little, like, trick he played there, and the fact that he's just being toyed with right now. He's not a fan of that particularly, so he kind of feels the need to do something. He goes up again. He jumps at Kilter. Kilter dodges. But this was never the plan. The plan was never to get Kilter in this strike that he's just about to do. That was never the plan. The plan was to get Kilter to dodge, and then when he lands, Hama lands on the ground and hits the ground with both fists, causing the ground to shake a lot. This attack almost kind of reaches... You can feel the attack. It doesn't shake the ground that crazily, but you can feel the attack. Kilter thrown way off balance now. Actually off balance this time. And then that's when Hama smacks Kilter to the ground. That takes a huge heap of damage. So Kilter gets smacked to the ground, goes down to a 75. Smacked to the ground. Knocks the wind out of him. He quickly tries to get up before Hama lands on his back, pushing him back down into the ground, which also takes off another 5. So now he's down to 70. Gets his fists ready to strike before Kilter. Throws in the white flag and gives up before he gets pummeled basically to death, resulting in a decently swift victory compared to everyone else. I told you, Kilter really likes to keep his life. He has made it onto other rounds sometimes, but not very commonly. Not very commonly, because he tends to give up way before. We needed at least one fighter that cared more about his life than the fight. Everyone else cares about the fight. Kilter cares about his life. So he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna let myself get that hurt for a fight. Because he's not gonna win. He's not strong enough to defend himself in the position that he's in. So he's not gonna try. He's face first, and stomach on the ground. Hama is sitting on his butt, kind of also on his back a little bit, pushing him into the ground. He can't get up, because Hama is huge. And he's just kind of stuck there. So he throws in the towel, and that's it. That's it for Kilter. He done. Everyone kind of sighs, but they all knew this was gonna happen. They're aware of Kilter and exactly how he fights. So they're not particularly surprised that he didn't win. They kind of saw it coming. So. So Kilter surrendered. Surrendered. Don't even know if that's a word. Hama is moving on. And that's it for those dudes. There we go. Alright. Path is a little bit more clear as to where we're going. That's where I think I need to get a bit of the path and connect it from down. Start down here and go up there, I think will be a lot easier. And man, it's already 9:30, guys. It's 9:30. And I only have so much done. I'm going to call it there, actually. I think that's going to do it for today. I'm not going to go back to my chair because the next time I come in here, I'm going to start it right back here. I'm going to start right back here as the sun sets. So yeah, that's going to do it. I realize I don't actually have an ending screen. So we're going to save and quit. Look at that. New title screen. That's going to do it.